Guys, what's going on? Sorry about that. Let's just wait for you guys to come on. What's going on, people? My connection. I don't know. My Wi-Fi is down. I don't know what's going on. My Wi-Fi keeps messing up, man. I don't know what's going on. It keeps going on and off. So if it does happen again, right, what I'll do is I'll download the video and then upload it as a video. I don't know what's going on for the last couple of days. Even when we did that 3-hour one last week, the Wi-Fi messed up. I don't know what happened to the Wi-Fi. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to ring them tomorrow because obviously it's not good, because obviously I do a live stream, so you know it's gonna mess up my connection. I can't afford for it to do that. So I'll find out why my Wi-Fi is playing up like this. You know what I mean? It's really annoying me. Happened yesterday as well. James, how are you, James? I hope you're well. It's good to be back. Good to be back. So I uploaded that. So I was processing. I've uploaded that 24 minutes that I'd done earlier to my YouTube channel. So hopefully it will be uploaded there soon. Let me just have a quick look. Just have a quick look to see if it's deal. Yeah, I think, no, 1 second. Sorry, guys. Give me a sec. No, still processing. It's still processing. So, yeah, it should be done. What's up, bro? Your channel is getting huge. Thank you, Victor Taronas. I appreciate that, man. It's all thanks to you guys. It's all thanks to you guys watching my videos. I really appreciate it, man. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. It doesn't help when the Wi-Fi keeps going on and off. Last week or so. What do you think of Joyce fight last night? I think he did all right. I think he looked a bit lethargic, but he always looks like that, don't he? He never looks, you know, great, but his style is very effective. He did what he had to do. I kind of think like Takam was winning the battles, but Joyce was always going to win the war. And that's basically what happened. You know, Takam was old and he basically, I wouldn't say worn down. I just thought he blew himself out. And in the end, you know, he basically got a stoppage. I thought the stoppage was terrible, by the way. I thought the stoppage was really bad. Derek Chisora v. Oscar Rivas would be an interesting fight, says Adari Pennant. Yeah, I think that would be a good fight. I think Chisora v. Joyce would be a good fight as well. I think Eubank can beat Andrade. Since he's got with Roy Jones, his style has got a lot cleaner to me. I'm not sure. I need to see him in there with a top level guy. You know, Eubank's funny because he kind of fights nobody. Then he jumps in with like he needs to fight somebody of note. He needs to fight big name. I'm gonna miss the live. Imran got work. I'm gonna make sure to watch it when I'm off. Yeah, appreciate you for all hard work. Thank you. Appreciate you. Being a subscriber and being in the lives and contributing, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, he's very stiff, very slow, very hittable, not much head movement. I just don't think you can fight against like that against the top guys. But I was saying this earlier that the only way we'll find out how good Joyce is when he's in there with stiff competition. Otherwise, we're not really going to know how good he is, right? We need to see him in there against the best guys. We need to see him in there with the Joshuas. We need to see him in there with the big names for us to kind of make a judgment on how good he really is. Because we can't really say right now. We can't really say how good he is when he gets in there with a Joshua, with a Wilder, with a Fury. Because if his style is effective for those guys, then you know he doesn't need to change. He is where he is. But from judging him of what we've seen so far, I just don't see how he beats Joshua. I just don't see how he beats Wilder. I don't see how he beats all those top guys, to be honest with you. Personally, I don't know. Maybe you guys think differently. I just don't see how he beats Joshua, for example. How does he beat Joyce? Oh, no, Adari Pennant. That's not a bad fight, but it'd be such a terrible fight to watch. You got two slow, lethargic guys in there. You know, by the way, Joyce, good fighter. He's effective. He does what he needs to do, but he's really boring to watch. Someone else mentioned this the other day on a Facebook forum that he's so boring. He's not exciting at all. What's going on with Canelo's fight? Well, Canelo has been sent a contract. He's been sent a contract. So I don't know whether he's going to sign that contract. I don't know whether he's going to sign that contract. He's going to send it back for, a few alterations. Let's see. But it looks like the Canelo Plant fight is edging very closer. Burning Desire says Crawford beats Porter in the best fashion Porter has ever been beat. At the minute, Kell Brook has been the one to win widest on the scorecards. Crawford beats Porter. Yeah, that's a good shout. That's a fair shout, I would say. But I'm not sure. Can he beat him? I'm not. Can Porter beat Crawford? I'm not sure. I think Crawford's gonna I think Crawford's been frustrated for a very long time, and I think Crawford's gonna want to put on a clinic. I think he's gonna want to outclass and beat up Porter, to be honest with you. But then you never know, right? Porter's always a problem for everyone. He's a real problem for everyone. So I don't know. Maybe Porter will just be a hard night's work again. Who knows? Let's see how that plays out. You looking forward to Conor Ben fight? Yeah, Conor Ben's fighting this week against Adrian Granados. Adrian Granados is a tough guy. He brings it every time he fights. I don't see him beating. I don't see Adrian Granados beating Conor Ben. I think he's gonna come. He's gonna make it a tough fight for a couple of rounds, and I think Conor Ben's gonna take off. Crawford looks so damn skinny. I'm surprised he gets these stoppages. He doesn't look powerful, but he will beat Porter anyhow. Yeah, he's got that dog in him as well. He's tough, man. He's tough. Ben is fighting a shot Granados. Yeah, an old, faded guy. A guy that's had a lot of wars. Same with Vargas. Had a lot of wars, man. Alan Babic v Carlos Takam. Who do you got? I don't know about Babic. Babic is still learning. He's still a long way where I would say Takam wins that. He got hurt so many times via the body in his last fight. Who was that? Who got hurt to the body so many? Oh, Ben. You mean Granados? Yeah, so Ben's he puts good combinations together. That's a good fight. It's a good fight. I'm looking forward to seeing that one. Listen, I think Ben will stop him, but it's a good learning fight for Ben. Granados is tough as nails. If Bud can stop Porter, I'd have him as number one pound for pound. Porter being in with the best 147 fighters, and no one has ever outclassed him. I don't know about putting him as number one pound for pound, but you can definitely make a case for number two. So Carl says there's only one fight to talk about, and that's Lee Wood. Lee Wood fighting Kanzu. That's a good fight. I think it's going to be a tough one for Lee Wood. The guy throws a million punches. So if Lee Wood don't stop him, it's going to be difficult for him to win that fight on points. He'll need to win. Yeah, that's a hard fight. That's a hard fight when you think about it. Because if Lee Wood don't stop Kanzu, I can't see him outworking him and getting a points decision. So unless he drops him a couple of times, which could happen. Let's see, man. Looking forward to that one as well. That's a good fight. I want to see Ben fight Khan after. What about you? Who do you think gives him an exciting fight? I don't think the Khan fight will happen. I think Ben and Avanesian is a very good fight. Very good fight. Granados, yeah, I thought you were talking about. Greg Thompson says, Crawford has said an opportunity to out himself in the 147-pound mat. Here I've already said several times that his legacy is 140. This time Porter is a top 5 welterweight. Yep. So, yeah, I agree. This is a top 5 welterweight. He is a top 5 welterweight, to be honest with you. So this is a great opportunity. Kevin Lowe says, did you see Khan do the pads? The speed, although not the same, it's the same. Yeah, but it's pads though. I can't, he's obviously always going to be good on pads. Mike Tyson at 50 something is good on pads. They've been doing pads all their life. So of course Khan's going to be good on pads even now, but he's not the fighter like he was like 10 years ago. No chance. Greg Thompson, Lee Wood v Kanzu. One saw last fight, but with rate for this guy. What are you saying there, Greg? Lee Wood v Kanzu, one saw last. Yeah, I saw his last fight. I saw Kanzu's last fight, and he threw a million punches. Lee needs to punch with Zhu like Danny Garcia v Khan. Yeah, but Kanzu's really fast, and not really fast. But he throws a million punches. He throws so many punches. How are you going to outwork that guy? I won't say he's really fast. He just throws a lot of punches. You know what I mean? He throws so many punches. So you ain't going to outwork somebody that's throwing a zillion punches like that. But yeah, you're right. You may have to time him like Garcia. Yeah, possibly. But if Kanzu might be. Kanzu's I don't know. Kanzu, is he taller than Wood? I'm not sure. What their dimensions? Wood might be bigger. I think Wood's the bigger guy. I believe Wood's the bigger guy. Carl says Khan is shot. I'm not going to disagree with that. Lee Wood v Kanzu will be good. A very good fight. I'm looking forward to that one. I think Wood's going to have to stop him to win. Burning Desire, Avanesian could beat Ben, whereas Ben could beat Khan. And it puts him on world level. Ben beating Khan doesn't put Ben on world level because Amir now is not even seen as a top 15 welterweight now. So he doesn't fight anymore, so you can't really say he's a top 15 welterweight anymore. Victor Torona says Granados is going to give Ben a run for his money. Yeah, let's see. I want to see that guy in a fight. He hasn't really been in a fight early on in his career against Paynold, but I'm talking in a fight like a proper hard scrap. Joe Joyce v Anthony Joshua would be a great fight in Nigeria. Yeah, that'd be a huge fight. But they're two British guys. I can't see that fight. Maybe. Burning Desire says, where does Warrington go if he wins or loses? Does he get back to the top level? I think Warrington, if he wins, I'm not sure whether he can beat the top guys, to be honest with you. Can Warrington beat Leo Santa Cruz? Can he beat Gary Russell? I'm not sure he can. Can he beat who are the other champions? And then Galahad and Dickens, that's probably his best bet, to be honest with you. He vacated his IBF strap, which Galahad and Dickens are fighting for. So Carl says we had Lee Wood on the show Last Bell Boxing, and he don't think Zhu can take his power. Let's see. That's going to be a good fight. I'm looking forward to that one. Saw his Kanzu last fight. He's phenomenal. Yeah. I saw. That's what I was talking about. Manny Robles. Whoa, he threw a zillion. I think it's threw over 1,000 punches in the fight. Do you think Joyce beats White? I don't know. On yesterday's performance, no. But do I think he can beat him? Possibly. Joyce is a very dangerous opponent for anyone. He's not an easy fight for anyone. Greg Thompson says Conor Ben for me still has a few fights before we get to world level. Yeah, I agree with that. Ben is not a great fighter. He needs to be managed well. Wow, that's harsh. He's not a great. He's a decent fighter. I'm not saying he's a good fighter. I think he's a good fighter. He's got that work ethic. He's got that work ethic. So I think he is a good fighter. I think he's a good fighter, but I do agree with you. I think he needs to be managed well. He hasn't won one title yet. He hasn't won a British title. He hasn't won a European title. He hasn't won anything yet, to be honest. So, what about him against Mickinson? But he thinks he's above British level now. So Burning Desire said, it's funny you say that about Warrington because we all thought he was number one before his loss. Yeah, but I didn't really think he was number one. I think Eddie Hearn was making it out like he was the number one guy. Eddie Hearn makes everyone out to be number one. Like Eddie Hearn was saying Kell Brook was the number one welterweight when Mayweather and Pacquiao was there. You know, Eddie Hearn made Jorge Linares out to be like he was the next coming off. You know, I think Eddie Hearn's just good at promoting guys and making them out like, you know, Kell Brook wasn't better than Mayweather or Pacquiao, but Eddie Hearn was saying that he was the number one welterweight at the time. You know, so I don't. Sometimes Eddie Hearn says a lot of things, but I don't always agree with it, especially when he's talking about promoting his fighters, because of course he's going to big up his own fighters, isn't he? You know, it's there. That's his job. His job is to promote fighters. So he's going to big up his fighters by saying they're this, that, and the other. But I don't think Josh Warrington was ever the number one guy in the division, to be honest with you. That's just my opinion. Yes, it's all about the next few fights he takes. So how far? What's he saying? Marky Dan saying, how far you think Tim Tszyu can go? The sons of the legends don't go far. He says he wants Castano now. I think he should step aside and let undisputed rematch happen. A good test for him would be Liam Smith. Yeah, I agree with you there. I think Liam Smith's a good fight for Tim Tszyu. Liam Smith's a good fighter, and I think Tim Tszyu's a good fighter, decent fighter. You know, he's a bit untested at the minute. Let's see him. Liam Smith's a really good fighter, former world champion. That'll be a tough fight for him. So Burning Desire says, do you enjoy watching Chisora still? Yeah, he brings it all the time. I enjoy watching his fights. He's more exciting than Joyce. Ben is explosive. Looking forward to seeing him fight this weekend. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him fight as well. He is explosive for sure. I think Ben could win a vacant world title once Spence moves up because Hearn will plan it right. Yeah, it depends on who's fighting. The thing is, there's so many good fighters in the welterweight division. You can't really see it being an easy fight against any of those guys. I think Carlos Takam is a good test for Dubois. Yeah, I think Carlos Takam is a good test for Dubois. It's a very good test. I don't know one that they may not take right now. So Carl says American and other promoters could learn a lot from Eddie Hearn's selling skills. Yeah, they probably could. The way he promotes his own fighters. Like Bob Arum slates his fighters. Definitely, Ben is an explosive fighter and great to watch. Just need to make sure he gets the correct fight. Yeah, you don't want to rush him too soon because otherwise it's not great, is it, if he gets found out by somebody that you know, that's like Josh Kelly basically stepped up too quick and he got found out by Avanesian. You know, I personally think I'd like to see Conor Benn fight him, but again, it's one of them that you could get found out. I actually thought Warrington would be tough to beat after seeing all them wins. Yeah. But that he found his match in Lara, right? That's going to be, I don't know whether he's going to be able to beat Lara in the rematch. I don't know what you guys think, but I think that's a very, very hard fight for him. Here in America, no one really rates Joyce. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of people here in the UK that don't rate him very highly. During pandemic, if it wasn't for Eddie, we'd have practically no fights. Yeah. There were some other good fights as well. I think, you know, Lomachenko, Lopez happened during the pandemic. There was other Kell Brook Crawford. There was other decent fights, you know, that were on. Victor Toronas, who is your top 10 fighters right now? Right now, I would say Canelo, Inoue, Crawford, Usyk, Lopez, Lomachenko, Taylor, Strada, that's 8. 2 more. Am I missing someone? Beterbiev. And who else? Who else is there? Am I missing someone? Fury. How can I forget Fury? Yeah, so that's my top 10. You think Hearn is gonna make a serious push for the Bud Porter purse bid? I think so. I think Triller. I think all of them might. To be honest, I think all of them might want to, you know, try to get that fight on their platform. It's a fairly big fight, to be honest. It's a decent fight. I think it's quite a decent fight. I think so anyway. I don't know what you guys think, but it's a good fight. Very good fight. So yeah, I would definitely like to think that they would push for that fight for sure. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Right? It's a big fight, really, when you think about it. It's a fairly big fight. So I'd like to think they do push for it, to be honest with you. I think they will, but let's see how whether they push for it or they don't. I think they will. I think they will push for it. It makes sense for them to, and it makes sense for all the platforms to get the fight. I think they will. I personally think they will push for it, but we'll just have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see whether they do or they don't. I think they will. I think for some reason I think they will look to get that on their platform without question. Without question. I think, why wouldn't you? So what we answer, who has Fury got? Who has Fury got? Two promoters when Eddie Hearn could do the same thing and make it cost effective. Why has Fury got two promoters when Eddie could do the same thing? Because I think he gets them on better with Frank Warren, and I think Frank Warren works for him. Guys, I'm just gonna disable the camera, but you'll hear my voice still, and then I'll enable it so you won't see me. But yeah, I'm still talking, guys. So yeah, but yeah, I think Fury, I think him and Hearn don't have the greatest I don't think him and Hearn have the greatest relationship, to be honest. So I think he gets on better with someone like Frank Warren, and he prefers Frank Warren, if I'm totally honest. So I think that's why I think he'd prefer working with someone like Warren over Eddie Hearn. Even though I think Eddie Hearn probably now in today's climate is a better, definitely the better promoter. But I think he probably gets on better with someone like Frank Warren, to be honest with you. So I'm not surprised, to be honest. I'm not surprised, to be honest with you, at all. I think Fury gets on better with someone like Frank Warren and Bob Arum than he does with Hearn. Even though I think Hearn is I think Hearn is the best promoter in the world. Warren is a yes man, whereas Hearn is more challenging. Carl says Warren is a yes man and Hearn is more challenging. Challenging in what sense? Like he makes you take tougher fights. Because I personally think someone like Warren is a good promoter. What about the news of Canelo maybe do business with Al Heyman and PBC? Yeah, he is going to do business with PBC and Al Heyman. I think his next fight will do business with Fox. I think they'll probably do a deal with. He'll probably do a deal with Fox. How long do you think Queensbury has before BT gives them the boot? I think Frank Warren's doing a decent job with BT. I don't think they're going to give him the boot because Eddie's gone with DAZN, and there's no one really. There's no other promoter either that really could do a better job, really, unless you know somebody that could do a better job. I don't think there's another promoter that'll do a better job, to be honest. So personally, I think they won't give him the boot. I think they'll probably keep him there. Personally, one Fury fights and Wilder. Hopefully, AJ is heavyweight boxing it over. Like not interesting as much. Fury and Wilder. Hopefully, AJ heavyweight boxing is like not interesting as much. What do you mean by what you're saying there? What do you mean by what you're saying? I don't get what you mean. Yeah, I'm reading them one by one, guys. Why can't he get a fight? Why can't he get a fight for Andrade and it could be be it fighters are actually ducking Andrade. I think he can get a fight for Andrade. I think Andrade, nobody really wants to fight him, to be honest with you. I think Andrade is just in a position where nobody really wants to fight him. Otherwise, I think Hearn can get fights for Andrade without question. It's just that Canelo don't want to fight him. Okay, so Donda 555 says he took Samuel Vargas, a hard vet, and took him out easily. Yeah, he did. He did. So Burning Desire says, I think Warrington wins the rematch by boxing this time and being hard to fit. Well, but Warrington's not a boxer, though. Warrington's more of a slugger. Can he do what AJ did with Ruiz? I'm not sure he can. Imagine if Hearn got AJ, Canelo, and Bud. That's a monster stable. Plus, Bud and AJ are in the money divisions. Yeah. But again, they may be in the money divisions, but Bud's doesn't sell a lot. You know, although he's a great fighter, he's not. But if he fights the right fighters, I just don't think Terence Crawford signing with DAZN would do him any favors, because he'd still have to fight on. He'd still have to fight on PBC, right? Because Fox have all the fighters in the welterweight division. So I don't see how that'll work, to be honest with you. So Fight Gamer says Warrington is an energy fighter who thrives on crowds like his fans, leads, and that gives him confidence to another level. Where he performs better without those crowds, he probably wouldn't have beat Selby. Possibly, you're possibly right. But then if he goes abroad and then fights those Americans where he'll have to fight away, not in his comfort zone, how's he going to do there? That's what you got to look at, because those guys that's not going to be in his, that's not going to be, in his comfort zone. He's going to be the away fighter. So Victor Turner said, if you had to fight to go see, who would you watch? Canelo, probably Canelo, to be honest with you. I think Canelo would be a great watch. I think Canelo would be great to watch. PBC and Top Rank should join forces, merged. Team up makes sense for boxing. Yeah, but that's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. You know that. That's never going to happen. So, Donda, you said, Imran, have you made a breakdown of the video Bud v Porter? Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's on my channel. So what is this about CS Biko maybe going to do some business with Al Heyman? CS Biko? I've not heard of that. Why? What's the news about that? Warren is a yes man. Hearn is more chat. We've gone over that. Greg says, what about the news? Canelo may be doing business. Yeah, we know about that. We've just, Canelo is probably going to do the business. So let's see questions that we haven't had. Did you see my message? Yes. So Carl says, BT haven't got massive budget for boxing. So I agree with the budget. Warren isn't doing a bad job. Yeah, they haven't. BT, I don't know whether boxing is like their main sport. Their main sport is probably football, right? So yeah, they haven't got a great budget, and Warren hasn't got a lot of marquee fighters as well, to be honest. I have no interest. Dolores says, I have no interest and will not be buy no pay-per-view for no Fury Wilder. Yeah, a lot of people seem to be the same. I think Fury Wilder is not a fight that a lot of people are that interested in. Burning Desire says, once Fury has fought both Wilder and AJ, will the heavyweight division not be as interesting anymore as the top three have fought now and the others aren't as big enough names? No, I think we want to see all these guys fight each other. Even like Ruiz, for example, there's so many guys. Joyce now coming up. There's so many guys for them to fight. Charlo is ducking Andrade. Fact. Yeah, I think that fight should be happening, really. That's a good fight. I'd like to see that fight. But unfortunately, it's not happening. And I see GGG and Murata a better fight at 160. Andrade will just run all night. You're possibly right, Greg. You're possibly right. Nobody wants to fight Boo Boo because he doesn't do nothing for himself. Canelo doing all the lifting, has all the belts, everything, and then they will just want to step right into the limelight. Yeah, yeah. What will Nobody wants to fight Boo Boo because he doesn't do nothing for himself. Canelo doing all the lifting, yeah. But the fact is, they all need to fight each other. They all need to start fighting each other. Otherwise, we ain't going to get the fights we want to see, right? They all need to start fighting each other. Burning Desire, will Crawford be more marketable under a different promoter? I think he will be a pay-per-view. Possibly. Maybe Hearn would do a much better job with him, but he's getting on a little bit now. He's not spring chicken anymore. Donda 555 says, Bud just needs a big promoter pushing him all the way like PBC does with Wilder, the Charlos, and Spence Jr. Fair enough. You think Porter is a good test for Bud? Do I think Porter is a good test? Yeah, I think he is a good test. He's a good fight without question. Boo Boo that improve himself, fight all the guys you're supposed to fight, then make the bigger fight when you want to see Canelo, like what Benavidez did. Yeah? Yeah, I just want to see Andre fight somebody, you know? Hearn would make Crawford a household name, both sides of the pond. Possibly. Again, it comes down to the fights, so it comes down to making the fights. The only problem is no welterweight is with DAZN, so who's he going to make the fights with? Imran, has you done a breakdown? Yes, I have. Did you think Khan had a chance to beat Canelo? No. Canelo was too big. He was too big. He was too strong. I think Matchroom or PBC would be his best choice. Who's that? Crawford. Imran. What is the best fight you've seen live with your own eyes? I don't know. There's a lot of good fights. I thought Khan Maidana was a special fight. I thought Klitschko Joshua was a great fight. I think Inoue Donaire was a special fight. There was a lot of good fights, man. A lot of good fights that I saw that, you know, had me talking. Are you still in Ty and Booth and Khan on the channel like you wanted? Oh yeah. Hopefully I will. I will eventually start interviewing people, not just yet. Just keep doing my own thing. Imran, there won't be an immediate rematch for Castano and Charlo. The IBF is mandating. Yeah, I seen that, which is bad. It's not good news, is it? They need to really fight each other. They really need to fight one another. It's not good news. That isn't. We need the best. We need them to fight each other, to be honest. And you know, those are nothing fights. You know, the mandatory. They need. I don't know why the IBF would do that. I don't quite understand it. Why don't they just let the best fight each other? I don't quite understand that. At all, if I'm honest with you. What did you think of Joyce's performance last night? I thought it was quite flat. I think it could have been better. I thought it was quite a flat performance, if I'm totally honest with you. It wasn't the greatest performance in the world, that's for sure. Burning Desire says, did Mikey Garcia lose his stock fighting Spence from being known as a pound for pound? He is now irrelevant. I wouldn't say he's irrelevant, but yeah, it wasn't a great it wasn't a great look for him, and his career is kind of like he's also out of shape, overweight. He needs to get back on it. Yeah, all them need to fight. But I seen Canelo going up to 175, in my opinion. Going back to 160 from 168 is a step down. What do you think as pound for pound rankings, Imran? Yeah, all them need to fight. But I seen Canelo going up to 175. In my opinion, back to 160 is a step down. Yeah, I don't think he will. I think he can't possibly now. Hey, what do you think about Edgar Berlanga v. Zach Parker? That's a good fight. Zach Parker's been calling out Canelo. I believe he's the mandatory for Canelo. So yeah, him against Edgar Berlanga is a good fight. Can't wait for the Olympics and see which Olympians will make it through big in the pro ranks. Yeah, let's see. Have you seen any brutal fight worse than Maidana v Broner? There's been a lot of brutal fights, to be honest. Maidana Broner was a beatdown. That was a beatdown. Broner got battered in that fight. They usually put mandatories to the side for unification fights, but I think there's more to this story. Some say Charlo doesn't want the immediate rematch. I don't know why Charlo wouldn't want the immediate. Why wouldn't Charlo want the immediate rematch? But I want to see Charlo fight Castano, to be honest with you. Daniel Dubois is v Bryant Jennings to see where he's at. Yeah, that's a good fight. Or Carlos Takam even. That's a good fight. What makes everybody think that Joyce is going to get either AJ or Usyk? Dillian White was mandatory for 2 years, and the WBC put jokers or fighters in there and denied White a shot is disgraceful. Yeah, I think White should have been a world title challenger by now. He should have fought for a world title. That's harsh. And he's probably got one of the best resumes. Probably got the best resume outside of Joshua in the heavyweight division. Flu Dog 13 says Mikey moved up 2 weight classes to fight Spence. Mikey is hard, yeah, and he didn't even get knocked out or knocked down. Burning Desire, what weight do you think Khan fights at next? He looks to be training for a fight with Brook, 154. Yeah, or catch weight. I think it'll be catch weight, to be honest. I think that fight will be probably at catch weight if it happens. So Marky Dan says the sanctioning bodies don't want all their belts tied into one person. They want their champs to be active so they can make money on sanctioning fees. Donda 555 says Keyshawn Davis looking good in the Olympics. The US. Keyshawn Davis, isn't he he's fighting as a pro. Any news on Arthur Beterbiev? Joe Smith, is fighting a mandatory, then Danny Jacobs. Yeah, I heard about that. Danny Jacobs has gone from 160 to 175. He must have really been struggling to make weight, man. Yeah, I know. I'm hiding my face intentionally. I'm not showing my face. There you go. Now you can see it. For little Charlo to not want to rematch ASAP tells me something I would have had Charlo winning against Castano. And although he went off the game plan and got caught in the ropes, I thought he could win. Yeah, he can win. He has to fight in the center of the ring and outbox him. How often do you train legs? My legs don't seem to show any progress. Is squats the most important workout? I train legs I train legs. To be honest, my training's been crap. Since the pandemic and stuff, I've put on a lot of weight. And I've not, my training needs to get back. Hopefully I'm going to go after this live stream, go to the gym, just do a little bit. It's going to be late, but it's going to have to be a late one today. Khan is too old to make 154. I think he can't fight at any other weight. He has to fight at 147 or 154. He can't make any other weight. To be honest with you, he's too old. He's too old to go down to like 140. Do you have any cheat days normally? To be honest, I've had too many of late, so I need to stop. I don't really have used to, but back, but since this pandemic, it's been all messed up, man. My training, my diet, it's just been all over the place. Yeah, it's hard, when you get put off like that, it's really hard to get back into it. To get back your mental state back to, doing what you were doing. It's hard, very hard. It's not easy, man. It's tough. So I need to get back doing what I was doing. Do you know what I mean? And hopefully we can get back to some kind of normality. But yeah, Anyone want to come on? I'll post the link in the chat if anyone wants to come on. Post the link in the chat if anyone wants to jump on. Okay, so have you lost muscles and got fat? Well, I don't say I've got fat. I've lost. I don't know actually whether I've lost muscle. Look like I've gone kind of bigger, but I put on more weight, kind of thing. They usually put mandatories to decide for unification fights. So I'm curious if Charlo didn't want the immediate rematch. People are speculating that they usually put mandatories to decide for unification fights. So I'm curious, Charlo didn't want the immediate rematch. People are speculating that possibly maybe Charlo didn't want it, and they put a mandatory. Listen, I think that rematch should happen, and hopefully Charlo does rematch Castano next, because I think he needs to, because most people thought he lost. La Vida Loca says WBO made Sean Porter mandatory for Terence Crawford. Yeah, and that's a great thing the WBO have done. The WBO need to be credited for that. The WBO need to be credited for what they've done. They need to be given credit, because, to be honest with you, the organizations get a lot of stick, but doing what they've done there, they deserve a lot of credit, to be honest with you. They deserve a lot of credit. So fair play to the WBO for doing what they did there. Marky Dan says, hey, Imran, if you want to get into MMA to good fights to watch, v Joanna and Lola, Welly v Joanna and Lola v Meta. But I seen that women's fight, the one that they say was the greatest fight of all time. That was an unbelievable scrap. Charlo didn't sound too sure about the rematch in his pot. Yeah, he didn't. I saw that, but I thought he would rematch him because he fought Tony Harrison, and he rematched Tony Harrison. So I thought if he can rematch Tony Harrison, surely he'd look to rematch. He'd look to rematch Castano, but maybe he doesn't like Castano's style. He thinks Castano may be all wrong for him. Who knows how he feels about Castano? Castano is a problem for anyone. So I don't know. I would like to see him fight. I would like to see him fight, Castano again, because, let's be honest. Did he really win that fight? Probably not. So he should rematch Castano, and look to avenge that loss. Although it was a draw, for me, it was like a loss. So he needs to avenge that. So Carl says, Fight Camp shows another example of Hearn and Matchroom trailblazing. Fight Camp shows another example. Doing well. Hearn's always coming up with new concepts and new ideas and trying to spice things up. Fair play to Hearn. He's good. He's good at what he does. He is good at what he does, Eddie Hearn. But have you seen Jamel that quiet after a fight? No, that's what I mean. He's normally even when the Harrison lost, he was upset. He's emotional. In this one, he was a little bit more quiet. He wasn't as confident. In boxing, do you think hard work trumps talent? Yes, it can do. Hard work can trump talent, but it depends on how talented somebody is, and if the talent is working hard also, it's going to be hard for somebody that's more, if you're more naturally gifted, if you're working hard, and you may not be working hard as somebody less talented than you may still be better than them, so it just depends on how talented you are. Someone like Khan has been reigning like 3 months in 2 years absence when he has a fight coming up. 3 months in 2 years. Yeah, I agree. Training in 3 months in 2 years. Yeah, he wasn't very dedicated, was he? Flu Dog says, when Charlo fights a decent fighter, he don't look good. Charlo is a fraud. Fight Crawford, Thurman, Porter, etc. Garbage, truck juice. Wow. Flu Dog's going in against Charlo. Marky Dan says, sorry, I meant Lola v. McDonald too. Fair enough. Training. Keep getting your questions in, guys. I'm enjoying it. All right. So Burning Desire said, do you think Danny Garcia has any success at 154? I think he's too small. And I think Danny's going to struggle because Danny's not the most skilled fighter in the world. He takes one to give one. So I'm not sure whether he can be successful at that weight. And those guys up at 154 are massive, man. They're huge. Amir Khan says he never fought Brook to hurt Kell's ego, but Karma did the same thing to Khan. He never got the Mayweather v Pacquiao fights. Yeah, true. I was thinking about that as well. Very true. Very, very true. Imran, you think Shakur v Navrate would be good? I think Shakur wins. I think Shakur Stevenson's a really good fighter. I'm not sure anyone I'm not sure anyone around those weight classes can beat Shakur. I think he's a really good fighter, to be honest with you. Very good fighter. So yeah, I'm not sure anyone's gonna beat Shakur, to be totally honest. So Donda says, Imran, Danny can really crack. I see him being in a title fight. Yeah, he can, but can he crack at light welterweight? I'm not sure he can. So where does Tank Davis go next? Does he stay at 140 or go back to 135? And let's see if he's the real deal. I would say realistically go down to 145. But I would like to see him fight Taylor at 140. I think Khan and didn't fight Brook because he knew he was getting KO'd, to be honest. That ego doesn't add up at all. Okay, next, Carl says, next UK prospect to win a world title, Imran. Next UK... I don't know. Who's the next UK prospect? Who do I like? UK prospect. Carl, do you want me to say Lee Wood? I don't know. I don't know who's going to win a world title, actually. I'm just trying to think which prospect's going to win a world title. Maybe someone like Conor Benn, Joshua Buatsi. I don't know, because Conor Benn and Joshua Buatsi in very hard divisions. Yeah, I'm not sure. Lee Wood isn't a prospect. Bivol already a world champion. Oh man, which prospect? What, Buatsi, Conor Benn? Who else is there? There's guys at 154 pounds, but it's too early to talk about them right now. Yeah, it is, but that's not a good sign that I can't think of any that are coming out that I think are going to become world champion. There should be loads. It is a good question, actually. That's a good question, man. Just Buatsi and Conor Benn, and even those guys, I don't know whether they win world titles, to be honest with you. Galahad is next week. Yeah, we'll win. But Galahad, again, is not a prospect. So Carl's right. Like Lee Wood, these guys aren't prospects. Shiraz. But again, here's the thing with that, though, Greg. It's still too early to say whether he'll win a world title. Like, he's miles away from a world title. We don't even know if he's the best in Britain yet. We don't even know if he's the best British prospect, let alone he going on to win. Because look at that division. In the prospects are like Scott Fitzgerald, Anthony Fowler. There's other guys. There's Troy Williamson. There's that other guy that he's fighting, Troy Williamson. Like, there's Cheeseman. There's the other guy that Cheeseman fought and beat. What's that guy's name? The Cheeseman fought and beat. What's that guy's name, man? The one that Cheeseman just knocked out. I forgot the guy's name. Who was the guy that Cheeseman beat? Metcalf. That's it. Metcalf. That guy's good as well. So the 154-pound division is stacked. Navarrete is on the cusp of entering the pound-for-pound list. Navarrete is a good fighter as well. Shakur v. Galahad, Dickens winner. Nah, Shakur would batter them. If Benavidez fights Canelo, the same thing is going to happen when Canelo fought Mayweather. Benavidez is very good, but his experience is not there. Canelo will eat him up. Yeah, I'd agree with that. If Shakur can unify the titles with Herring and Valdez, where do you put him pound for pound? I wouldn't put him in the pound for pound list if he can unify. I don't think just because you become unified, you should be in the pound for pound list. The bigger puncher at featherweight, Nazim Hamed or Tank Davis. Ooh. Probably Tank. Tank's a bigger puncher, I think. Tank's quite physically strong as well. Like, Naz was more slimline. That's what made Naz's punching power even greater. The fact that he was so skinny. Like, Tank's a tank, basically. That's why he's called Tank. Is Ryan Garcia overrated? Does he beat Fortuna if they fought? I don't think he's overrated. I think he's got vulnerability. A little similarities to Amir Khan. I don't know whether he'll achieve as much as Khan, but let's see. He's a bit vulnerable though, right? We saw that against Campbell. Campbell's not a big puncher, and Campbell dropped him hard. Donda555 says, I'd rather see Zodo Ramirez in the mix with Tabiev and Bivol rather than Canelo. Why? I'd rather see Canelo and those guys. Those guys are much better fight. Conor Benn. Yeah, Conor Benn could be a prospect. Galahad v. Dickens world title shot. I think Galahad's got that. Galahad won that. He's already knocked him out previously, hasn't he? Khan v. Brook. I see Khan winning if he can avoid the Kell Brook power. Khan is too chinny, yeah. If he can avoid his power, then yeah, I think he wins. Are we talking about that now or in his prime? That's a good fight. It would have been a good fight in their prime as well. 50-50. Felix Cash beats Eubank. I don't know about that. Felix Cash is good, but I don't know whether he beats Eubank. I think people just make out like Eubank is crap. I don't think Eubank is crap at all. I think Eubank's a decent fighter. I think that would be a good fight, Felix Cash v. Eubank. But I don't think he beats him easy. That's a tough one. Jesus loves you, Imran. The Prophet. Is it Shiraz? Possibly, guys. Shiraz could be one. I do agree there, Greg. I think Shiraz could definitely be a future world champion. A lot of people seem to think so. I just don't like saying, oh, he's going to be a future world champion. It's really hard to say somebody is going to be a future world champion, until they prove it. Galahad is established. Galahad's a good slick fighter, good fighter. Zach Parker after Canelo moves up to 175. Yeah. Is Zach Parker? Yeah, Zach Parker, you can say, is a prospect. Maybe Leron Richards if Canelo vacates all his belts. The UK has a lot of hidden gems, like that Asian fella with Ben Davison will win a world title in 2 years. Which Asian fella? Shabazz Masood? Is that what you're talking about? Shabazz Masood? You know, Richard's not a bad shout. Yeah, he's young fire. La Vida Loca says, how underrated is Jared McLennan? Roy Jones was his good friend, lost to him in the amateurs, and Roy said he'll never fight him in the pros. He was a beast, Jared McLennan. Caleb Plant or Zach Parker? Who wins? Caleb Plant. Plant's a good fighter. I think people need to put more respect on his name. Bigger puncher at featherweight. Tank. I have Herring and Valdez upsetting Shakur Stevenson. Wow. You have Herring and Valdez upsetting Shakur Stevenson. Fair enough. I think there'll be a lot of people that disagree with you. A lot of people think Shakur's the man in that division. Some people seem to think Warrington can make some big adjustments to beat Lara. You think it might just go down as the same last time? Yeah, I think so. Tank Davis, he's has the most power from 140 down. Yeah, Tank Davis has explosive power, man. He's dangerous. Valdez v Shakur is a good fight. 100% it is a very good fight. Valdez Shakur is a very good fight. I'd agree with that. Valdez Shakur is a very, very good fight. How do I rate Khan's power at 147? He wasn't even a big power puncher at 140. He was more of a speedster, right? He wasn't a big power puncher at any weight class. But he could definitely, he had respectable power. He had respectable power without question. And he could overwhelm you. Herring v. Shakur would also be great in my opinion. Yeah, it would be. 100% would be. Andrew Larios says, hey, how are you today, bro? I'm good. You, yourself? Good. Marky Dan says, but still, Shakur, with Shakur skill set, you'd have to rate him pound for pound. I think Loma and Haney are the only guys who can beat him, and think he beats Haney and fights a close fight with Loma. Possibly. Tough fights, man. Tough fights. Eubank has good fights. He can make. Yeah, he does have good fights. Billy Joe Saunders and Eubank's a good fight. You know, Eubank v. Andrade, Eubank v. There's so many guys for Eubank to fight, man. Khan gets stuck on the line too much, like when he got blasted by Canelo. Yeah, he got set up in that fight, didn't he? Jet, but that right hand was vicious. Who besides GGG at middleweight beats Eubank? Andrade, Charlo, Murata. There's a lot of guys that could beat them guys, Brendan. I think Eubank is, yeah, I'm not sure about Eubank. Can you do joint videos on YouTube? If you do it with Tyan, you would get so many followers. Yeah, Tyan has a big following. I'd love to interview that guy. He's funny as well. All of the Lara, Andrade, Charlo beat Eubank. Yep, they do. Lara's at 154. Has he moved up to 160, Lara? Plant has mad power. Haha, Plant v Eubanks. I don't think Plant has mad power. I think Plant would beat Eubank. He'd outbox him. I think it's perfect time for Herring or Valdez to fight Shakur with the experience and him lacking experience, with Herring being tall with reach and Valdez power and Eddie game plans. Yeah, good stuff. If BJS comes back, he should come back to 160. No, 160 for sure. Mike Tyson v Riddick Bowe. I'm gonna go Mike Tyson. Brendan Jackson says, I think Eubanks would tax Andrade. Lara could catch him. So could Andrade with combination, but it throws more punches than Lara. Yeah, but Lara's hard to hit, man. I feel BJS might be done. Something tells me he's not coming back, possibly. It wasn't a very... the interview that he gave wasn't very optimistic, was he? Do you think Adonis Stevenson ducks Sergey Kovalev? Possibly, yeah. I think that would have been a great fight. That was a fight that went missing that the fans wanted to see. Do you think Canelo was trying to win any of them 6 rounds before the KO, or was he focused on getting that one hit? Well, I think Canelo was looking to box and set him up. I don't think he was worried too much that he was down on the cards, because he felt like he would wear the smaller man down. Probably wasn't expecting such a brutal knockout, but he did probably think he'll stop him. I feel Eubank chances of beating Murata is the best. Yeah, I think that's his best chance of becoming world champion, Murata. But Murata's now fighting Golovkin, Brendan. Lara moved up to 160. Yeah. Still sucks we never got Ruslan Prodnikov v. Brandon Rios. That would have been a war. That would have been an all-out war. When we talk about a war, that would have been a war if we ever saw one. That would have been some war. That would have been some fight. Plant has solid power and is a true 168-pounder. Yeah. Plant doesn't have solid power. I don't think he's a power puncher. I think he's more of a fast guy, likes to box and move. Lara is at 160, if I recall correctly. A recent early one, punch KO, if I recall correctly. Plant v Saunders, who wins? Who wins by KO? I don't think any of them win by KO. Lara looks very, very good in his last fight. Yeah, he did. Lara's a good fighter, man. Don Dada says Canelo was timing that right hand since the 3rd round. If I recall correctly, Canelo boxing brain is... Yeah, he was missing a lot, though, as well, in that fight. Plant has like 12 KOs. Yeah, he's not a big puncher. Joe Joyce v. Frank Sanchez on Canelo's team. Who would win? Joe Joyce, too experienced. Is it impossible for Kell Brook to beat a top 10 fighter, do you think, at 147? Yeah, he's past his best. What do you think about Joyce's costume? I think it was hilarious, man. I didn't understand what he was... I didn't understand the purpose of that. What was he trying to show, that he's a juggernaut? Canelo, only chance of losing now is to Beterbiev and Bivol. Yeah, I'd agree with that. No power. Who wins the undisputed rematch? Charlo. I think Charlo can win it. I would fancy Charlo to win that, to be honest with you. I think Charlo can beat him. But again, like you guys said, he needs to take the fight. He needs to take the fight. You know, if he doesn't take the fight, then how are we going to know? How are we going to know? Guys, thanks for being on the live. I appreciate it. I'm going to hopefully do one again tomorrow. So around 7, 8 o'clock, I'm going to try to go live again. But thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. So I think anyone with Saunders injury shouldn't fight again, especially if they have money. Look at Brook, example. It doesn't go well. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Plant knocked down the puncher, Osakatsi, twice in their fight. Has an unexpected power and beautiful. Yeah, he's more speed than power. Inoue has got orbital bone broken, and look at him. Yeah, but Inoue just blasts guys out of there. He's just a monster. Only one I can see beating Canelo is if Andre Ward came out of retirement and was still like he's in his prime. Yeah, I'd agree. Rocky Marciano weighed 79 kg and trained boxing, bagged 300 kg. Rocky Marciano, undefeated guy, 49-0. Are you going off? Yup, I am. Burning Desire, I am. So yeah, guys, I'll hopefully come on again tomorrow. Sorry about that glitch, and sorry about the stream crashing earlier on. But yeah, I'll probably see you guys tomorrow. So take care, everyone. I wish And then take care, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Dundada said, I think Plant is the hardest fight for Canelo out of all of them. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But guys, take care anyway. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care and peace out.